Hey, what's up, everyone? We are back for the Saturday slate. Hope you guys all had a good Friday. Absolutely crushed it. I needed that. If you guys see by the title, I'll get into the recap. But first, just want to say thank you for all the love and support you showed on yesterday's video. You really brightened up my day by getting over 400 likes. I never expected that, but really the comments that some of you guys left really meant a lot. And I just appreciate having such a great community and just great viewers, and I'm expecting big things in the future, so appreciate all the support. Yesterday we crushed it, posted some updates on Twitter later in the day, as I always do, so make sure you're following on Twitter. Posted the updated cores here, and then on Fanduel I took down the single entry, so I had an awesome day, like 21 times the buy-in back on Fanduel, and Draftkings did pretty good. If you use the video picks, they also did good because I had Valanciunas and Dylan Brooks, but once the Raptors value came, I just felt wanted to get Powell in there, wanted to get OG as a value play. I thought he could be similar to Brooks. I didn't really have the salary, but Aaron Gordon was great, got the triple-double, and yeah, on FanDuel, nobody was popular on the Grizzlies. In the single entry, Morant was 0.7% owned. I was the only guy that played him. Valanciunas was 2% owned. And that was kind of the low owned plays. And then Ja was a little bit higher owned, but everybody did pretty well in that lineup. Giannis only had to play 3 quarters. But yeah, the best part about DFS is no matter how tough it's been, it only takes one day to really change your fortunes. So that last night was one of those days. I'm really happy and thankful. So let's get into Saturday. If we can do a repeat, that would be great. You can drop a like down below. I appreciate that. Before we get started, you can subscribe as well. Once we get to 10,000 subscribers and 5,000 followers on Twitter, I will be doing a nice giveaway. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe so we can get that done quicker. And if you want to join, you can check out the website, links in the description. And let's get started here. At point guard for this slate, we have a lot of good options, a lot of studs. Quite a bit of teams on back-to-backs as well, so we could get some players resting, especially like Kevin Love usually rests. So we'll see, but LeBron James is expected. He's still questionable. I think he probably will play, but it's against the Memphis team that's been struggling. They could rest him, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. I really do like some of these guys at the top. I think are viable, but I kind of like going cheap. I think at point guard here, like Trae Young is probably one of my favorites to pay up for out of Westbrook or Harden. Harden and Westbrook get tough matchups against Boston on the road. Both of them have the ability to just go off. Like Harden put up 67 against the Boston Celtics recently, and Westbrook put up 59, but it's still not an easy spot, and I think that was at home. So going into Boston, it's going to be a little tougher. I think Trae Young with the upside and had a pretty down game. Maybe he's still feeling sick, but only shot 33%, but showed you the upside. Only made 6 shots, but put up 48 fantasy points. We know that Lillard is out again, so CJ is looking like one of my favorite spend-ups on the slate at 92. He's cheaper than guys like Harden and Westbrook by quite a bit, but he gets the best matchup you could ask for, really, or one of the best matchups against the Hawks. Hawks are on a back-to-back. It's on the road, so this game should stay pretty close. I'm expecting a lot of points scored, and we've seen the upside that McCollum possesses. This is definitely a much, much better spot than he had last time out against a slow Pacers team. And then Ricky Rubio's been balling out. He looks viable at 73. I like Marcus Smart quite a bit at 65 just because he's going to have to play a lot of minutes. He's pretty cheap, and he's going to be out there to defend Westbrook and or Harden. And I think DeJounte Murray is viable as well without Aldridge. But I'm going to go with Smart as of now. I think is a really good option. He has upside at this price tag. No Kemba again, so we'll get high 30s in minutes and should be productive. Shooting guard at CJ McCollum, I like a lot at 9,200. I'm not saying you can't play Harden. I think if you play a bunch of lineups, you should definitely have some exposure to Harden. But if I was just making one, I would probably go to CJ just because I think he has like a 50, 60 point upside here in the spot, maybe even 70. Not really. I find it kind of tough to pay for LeVert. Even Devin Booker, I'm finding it tough on the slate because I want to get to DeMar DeRozan. I want to get to CJ. And then not going to play Wiggins. He absolutely, after that, what he did last game with his getting scratched, I'm not going to risk it with him. And He's 6,800. He's cheap, but they're just so bad, and they are going to be probably playing quite a bit of players. I think you could run it back with Brooks if you want, but it is a lot tougher matchup. I think it might just be a spot where I'm not that high on the Grizzlies right now. As of now, I mean, if we don't get more value, I think he looks fine just because he's going to get a lot of minutes. But it's a really tough matchup against the Lakers on a back-to-back. And then Cam Reddish has been crushing it. I like Reddish as a value play. I think it's another spot where they will probably start Collins at center, and then Cam Reddish will jump into the starting lineup. He gets a great matchup. I like him, and I like Gary Trent as value plays. And then if Lonnie Walker, I'm not expecting him to start unless they put like Lyles to the bench, because I do think in this spot Pirtle will start. But if he does start at 3,400, he's in play. Even off the bench, you could take a shot there. But CJ McCollum is a guy I'm going to get at 9,200 for sure. At small forward, I'm definitely going to get DeMar DeRozan at 7,600 without Aldridge again. He's definitely the top play, and then not really that interested in the mid-range really at the position. I think for value, it's Hunter, it's Ariza, definitely Cam Reddish and Gary Trent, and then Lonnie Walker. But DeRozan at 76 without Aldridge just gets a huge bump in production, rebounding. Florida with a triple-double last time out. It's a tougher matchup here, but it's at home. And the Magic are on a back-to-back traveling, so they should be a little bit tired. Their defense should take a little bit of a hit. At power forward, Davis looks great, especially if LeBron is held out once again. Only played 25 minutes against the Warriors. Didn't have to exert much energy out there as they absolutely just ran over them in the second half. Collins is a little bit too expensive, I think. Gordon is fine at 8,500. I mean, I was on him last night. I don't know if he's going to get 41 minutes on a back-to-back and a 3 and 4. So there's a chance he can, just because they are like in the playoff race right now, and they've been running tight rotation, but still a back-to-back for a guy like Gordon. I mean, I think he's fine, but the price tag isn't getting any cheaper. I think I kind of prefer DeAndre Ayton as just a similar play point per dollar wise. 8,400 cheaper. I'm not sure why he has a power forward eligibility, but definitely will use that to my advantage and play him at power forward. So definitely like DeAndre Ayton. And then Kevin Love, if he's in at 67, that looks pretty good. But yeah, I think it's probably Ayton for sure. And then I think Gordon is probably my second favorite out of the spend-ups, just because he's cheap compared to like Collins and Sabonis. But definitely DeAndre Ayton. And then at center here, Whiteside is definitely viable at 9,300. It's not a super cheap price tag. It's a little bit more expensive than he was, but it's a great, great spot against the Hawks here. He can destroy them. But we also have some value at this position, and you could play Valanciunas again. He put up 49 fantasy points and shot 4 of 14. He was absolutely a man amongst boys on the glass. 25 rebounds. It was just amazing to watch. But I do think Jakob Poeltl is going to get minutes today. It was a shame what Popovich did last time out, playing him 10 minutes. But I guess you could kind of reason your way after the fact. I wasn't expecting it, but Kristaps plays center, so the stretch 5, they probably were worried about Poeltl hanging with Kristaps at the three-point line, and then the backup center is Maxi Kleber, who also stretches the floor, so it wasn't a spot for Poeltl. I know Vucevic also does shoot threes, but it just seems like a spot where with all the size on Orlando, they're going to need Poeltl in there and playing good minutes. So I'm expecting him to start. I hope we get news before lock, because if he's not starting, then we'll probably cut back his minutes quite a bit. And then over at guard here, I think Cam Reddish, who I mentioned, I do like quite a bit at just 4,300 is appealing. Also Gary Trent I like. But Reddish has been playing well as of late. He's had 30-plus fantasy points in 3 out of his last 5 games. He's gotten the minutes lately. And last night he shot really well. It's a great spot against the Blazers. They're at home. So I just feel pretty good about Reddish. He's been showing some of his skills lately. And if he's starting, I feel a little bit better about him. Even if he's off the bench, he should still see good minutes and probably will close the game. And jumping on over to Fanduel here, point guard here, Young is my preferred option out of him and Westbrook. Rubio's been amazing lately. He looks pretty good at 68 against the Warriors. And then I would say DeJounte Murray, 55. Morant and Brogdon are the other three that I'm kind of considering. As of now, I kind of do think I might probably have Rubio just because he's really been playing well. And without Kelly Oubre, there's just so many minutes for Rubio and so much usage to go around. At shooting guards, also probably try to get to Rubio because I don't know if I'll be able to get to Devin Booker at shooting guard because I do want to play CJ. I want to play DeRozan. I think Smart is really nicely priced here. And then if you want to punt, you have Oladipo and Kevin Huerter and Trent. So I think I will probably get to both CJ McCollum and not LeVert and DeMar DeRozan at this position. Small forward here, I'll just skip over it, but I'll tell you guys who I'm considering. It's Jaylen Brown, 64. It's TJ Warren at 54. It's Radish. DeAndre Hunter, 4,300 is really cheap. Prince is only 4,100. That's incredibly cheap. And then that's kind of it. The main ones I'm looking at, and then maybe James Ennis at 38. But I don't think I'll be paying up at this spot for a Wiggins or a James. A power forward is a spot where I will probably pay up just because there's so many good options. You have Davis, you have Tatum, Bam, Sabonis. All these guys look great. Compared to his DraftKings price tag, Collins is a lot more favorable on Fanduel at just 8,400. If Kevin Love plays, he's only 6,300. That looks pretty good. And then Dario Saric is just 3,800. He struggled against Detroit, but the minutes are still going to be there. He's going to have a good game pretty soon, so I would think that he's a good punt option at power forward. Right now, I kind of do like Sabonis here at 8,500. It's a great spot against Cleveland. I'm pretty sure he lost some minutes due to foul trouble against Portland, but it's a spot where he's been playing good minutes and high minutes. It's a bad Cleveland team defensively. If Drummond's out, then a little bit smaller as well, so I think it's perfectly fine price tag for Sabonis on FanDuel. And then at center here, it's probably going to be like Valanciunas at 62. I like him at that price tag. I like Turner. But really, if Pirtle starts here, and I do expect it, I think at 4,300, it's tough to ignore that because we've seen what he can do when he's gotten the starts here, like a 40-point game against Chicago earlier this year when they played traditional centers and Aldridge's been out. He's been getting good minutes, so I do expect that to continue. And that's kind of it for this slate. As always, I'll update you guys on Twitter as news breaks and things change. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You can hit the like down below if you enjoyed, and good luck today.